You are watching Fight+Music with Blake Meahl
and Jill Janus of Huntress.
Started with punk rock to get into playing guitar, that's for sure. And then I think that's probably how it happens for every punk-ass little kid.
The gateway.
Yeah, the gateway drug was Misfits, pretty much.
Yeah, ditto.
And then that went into crustier punk, and then one day I realized I actually kind of wanted to play my guitar instead of just bash on it, and then that led into all the classics and Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff, but mostly, yeah, Sabbath. Sabbath and Gateways, even with like Soundgarden and stuff, and then that turned into going like, oh, let's take it the next step, and then it's just been Priest ever since.
And King Diamond, Danzig.
Well, the list goes on. We're into all kinds of black and death metal too, but yeah. I could bore you to tears with all that crap.
Oh,
Plead the
Glenn.
Fifth? Yeah,
Glenn.
okay.
It's Glenn. We were able to tour with Danzig.
Jerry's a lot taller.
Don't matter. It's Danzig. We were able to, it was a dream come true getting toured Danzig last summer, so it kind of blew my mind. And a great story to that is I was waiting in the wings, and all of a sudden I see Glenn turn and do this, and I did the, who, me? He's like, come on. So I got to sing Skulls with Glenn Danzig and Doyle. Mind blown.
Yeah, I'll stick with the Glenn. He may, he's the man. He still got it. He looks tough as shit up there.
Yeah. In 2006 is when I came up with the idea for Huntress and trademarked the name, and it took me a while to find these guys. I spent about 10 years not compromising on my vision until I found a band in Los Angeles, an underground metal band named Professor. Oh, it was even longer than that. Just prior to that, just looking for musicians for any type of project, metal, hard rock. So yeah, and I saw them play, and then immediately I said, "That's my band." And
it was a trip. I'll not forget that night. Like, we were booked. We were just kind of a local band. We'd done some touring. And it's like, why is this really attractive blonde standing in the front actually enjoying all these nerdy stoner riffs? This doesn't make any sense. And sure enough, yeah, she was all about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm still all about it. The name Huntress is a tribute to the goddess Artemis, goddess of the hunt. So for me, it taps into my pagan roots and growing up in the woods in upstate New York. It's very much based in magic of nature.
Just take a picture of that stage in there, and that'll answer the question right away.
And also, take a picture of where you're doing this interview right now. we're absolutely the opening act. Well, this theater here in Toronto is very small. There's limited room, and they're sound checking right now. But the first rule of being an opening band really is stay the fuck out of the way. And we've learned that repeatedly. I mean, we've toured with Lamb of God and Killswitch Engage, Testament. That was a massive tour, and we learned an immense amount. And Lamb of God is so supportive of opening acts, and you keep learning and you keep growing. And headlining gigs for us are a lot of fun, and we're building our fan base still. We're still very new at this. It's exciting.
I would say we have just as much fun playing to 50 headlining and getting to play a full set as doing these tours where we get to play to a bunch of ravenous kids
Or festivals.
or all that. But the stage space is hilarious. I've eaten it shit so many times. Just tripping over lights and other people's monitors. There's 3 drum sets behind us. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to see how long we can hold our breath underwater. As long as possible. and then we get underwater fights so that we get super tough. And that's
All right,
how
Stoner. All right.
we have to learn how to play a bunch more songs. But this one's funny because we're doing one headlining show on the way back. And so we're not going to have rehearsed half our set for 6 weeks and then go in there and do that. So we'll see how that goes.
But it's fun when we play these headlining gigs, and especially with our new album coming up. We're recording it right now. We're in the process of that. So what we're doing is we're throwing out a bunch of new songs for our smaller clubs we're playing. So those fans, we can kind of get feedback from them as well. So that's kind of neat. And dress rehearsals. So I have all these new extravagant costumes that I'll put on and see if I can work my way around the stage setup. And then if the boys mess up, I stop the show and I make them do 20 push-ups. So you can look forward to that at our headlining gigs right now.
That happened.
Yeah, it did happen. They train wrecked. Why wait? We are evolving quickly, and this is what I wanted from the very beginning. And I pushed these guys really hard to write and record one album a year. And my vision also includes one album a year for 3 years, and it's part of a trilogy. Maiden, Mother, and Crone. So each album represents a different phase of the goddess. So the first album, Spell Eater, was in the maiden phase. I showed more skin. It was more sexual. The second album, Starbound Beast, was the mother phase. So it was a little bit more thoughtful. And now moving into the third album, the Crone phase. She's horny, she's old, she's evil, and I think I'm having the most fun with her so far.
On a less spiritual and weird cosmic answer to that is because that's all true, but at the same time there's so many more bands and there's so much less money supporting the community. You have to work harder than ever, and so if you're not gonna go in and fight your ass off, you're just gonna get run over by a million other bands. And with the way social media streaming works and everything like that, as soon as you're off the page, who the hell was that? You got to stay in the game.
Absolutely, that is so vital to our existence, and it's part of our legacy. We never compromise on the videos either, and we now have a great ally, Phil Mucci. We are already talking with him about creating, our debut video for this next record, Album 3, and it really is something that has helped us move along. It got us signed to Napalm Records. We invested in the video Eight of Swords. We all paid for that. We put it out there, and then it's created a frenzy. I mean, we had 9 labels trying to sign us, and we went with Napalm because they really shared our vision. So, absolutely.
And at the same time, maybe it is partly an old school or optimistic vision of it, but that's a huge piece of our art and what we put out there of ourselves. And it's when everything is so much a pain in the ass and miserable and driving around and it's just a fight all the way up. There's the two things that you really have control over as your art, is your music and your videos that represent who you are. And so those are the two things we can't compromise on, and they're so cool. And and that's how people hear about bands anymore, is who the hell is this? I don't know, I'll go on YouTube. Yeah, you better make a damn impression,
I was at the Rainbow with Lemmy one night having drinks, and I asked him if he would help write a song for Huntress on our album Starbound Beast. He said sure. So a couple weeks later, I met up with him, and he decided that he wanted to name the song I Want to Fuck You to Death. And it's written from my perspective, so it's, good old Lemmy. He has such integrity, and, he walks the walk. So I love the guy, and I'm just so... still my mind is blown. It's like a high five from the universe to have Lemmy Kilmister go write a song for you. And, I brought it to the boys. I said, hey, Lemmy wrote lyrics, and they're called I Want to Fuck You to Death. And the boys are like, oh, boy, well, it's going to be great. We're going to do
Kick
this.
up the creepy stalkers.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Bring on the creeps.
Up the security. That's what we need from you, Fight Music people. Get us some big dudes.
Yeah,
protect your ass.
It's getting weird. It's getting weirder. I mean, I like it weird. It's never weird enough, but shit's getting weird.